Hello, welcome back. This is Wency from Wency's Toys channel, and today I'll be reviewing the alternate builds of the LEGO set 10497, the Galaxy Explorer Space System, from the 90-year anniversary sets of LEGO for the 90 years of play anniversary. So let's get right to it. Oh, and before I forget, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And please consider subscribing, as a lot of my viewers have not yet subscribed to my channel, and it would help me a lot in bringing you more content like this in the future. Thank you very much! Okay, so now let's get on with the review. And this is one of the alternate builds for the 10497 Galaxy Explorer set for LEGO's 90 years of play, for LEGO's 90th anniversary. And this is supposed to be the replica, the updated replica of the LL924 space transporter. But the one thing that I guess I'm a little bit disappointed is that since they had these alternate builds for the 10497 set, I would have wished they also gave us the bricks for the LL924 and then the LL918 as well. So, but overall, I think this set, this alternate build, pretty much represents the old LL924 space transporter. It is a two-manned spacecraft, and again, it's just a twin engine now, as opposed to the 4 engines of the Galaxy Explorer. And based from the original photos that I could see on the internet, the one thing that maybe is a little bit different for this set is how they made these the forks here in front. So the original had a blunt front, but the fork was in the middle of that blunt front. So they had this blunt front, but I guess it would have been great if they had the fork here, somewhere here in the middle of these two. But with the pieces of the 10497, I guess this is the best that they could do. Also, the original LL924 had the green lights, the green transparent pieces here at the corner here at the back, I would guess back wedge of the spacecraft. But I guess since they didn't have enough space anymore and they don't have the green wedge cheese slices, then this is the best that they could do again. Then they put it on the thrusters. But those are just nitpicking. And one thing that I forgot to mention in my 10497 review was that I wish that they brought back the wedge plate that had the big space symbol here. This 2x4 plate doesn't give it much justice, because as far as I remember, that space logo was as big as the piece. So it would have been nice if they brought that back, or made at least this plate or the printing as big as the original. But those are just nitpicks. Overall, the design looks pretty cool. And again, they made this canopy build pretty cool, that they have this hook parts and this build here for where the canopy attaches. So you just slide it here and then it goes down, and it looks pretty smooth here. I like the fact that they also replicated this single antenna here, but they also made a little bit more adjustment, that they put a smaller antenna here as well. Very cool. And again, looking at the bottom, they were able to integrate landing pads on this one. Very cool indeed, because in the 914 or 918 alternate build of this set, you'll see that they weren't able to put the landing gears, and I'll review that as well in a few moments. So here we have, again, I'm not sure if because of the 10497 wedge piece here for the tail fins, not sure if this is the appropriate size, but I guess we have to do with what we've got. And I like the fact that they put a lock here for the transport or the cargo bay. And looking at the cargo bay, here is our precious cargo. Can't remember if this, or don't know if this is supposed to be an engine, but I guess this is a transport module. So you can, there's boxes here. So here's the glass mug, and then we have an alternate tank, so you can put anything for the transport. There's no more wedge here because this is a transporter, so it's not really for exploring, so it's just for transporting cargo. So very cool concept that they've got here. And so for closing this, you better make sure that you have this closing piece inside before you close it properly, or else you're gonna get stuck. And it's not as flush as you would think, so it's a pretty good lock actually. Again, as my review, I'll put a link up here or on the end screens for YouTube, and I'll put a link below on my original review of the 10497. But again, they have this very nice wedge, Nexo Knights wedge here to create this arrow here at the back. So overall, this is a pretty good set. And let's take a look at how this size compares to the actual 10497. So here we've got the original 10497 build, and here's the LL924 version. And as you can see, it's about 3/4 of the size of the actual 10497. So a lot of reviewers that I've seen or that I've read say that this alternate build, the LL924 build, is actually more the size of the original LL928 in terms of size. And I guess they're right, and they prefer this version more, the LL924 alternate build more. But to me, these versions are just, both of them are just perfect. I would say for the fleet, they're just perfect to build. Plus, they both have landing gears. So they are both the perfect size for display, and both are very, very nostalgic. And comparing the sizes, it's, you just need to buy more than one 10497, I think. So as you can see, the biggest difference is, of course, this part of the wing here that is a bit extended, as opposed to the very triangular silhouette of the LL924. So okay, that's my size comparison review. Now on to the review for the LL918 alternate build. So let's get right to it. Okay, so now this is the continuation of my review of the alternate builds for the LEGO set 10497, the 90th anniversary version of the original Galaxy Explorer. So this is the LL918 space transport redesign or alternate build from the 10497. And again, just like my other previous reviews, even to the original 10497, I really like the way that they made the wing frame thicker and more sturdy by using Technic pieces. Very, very cool indeed. And again, just like all the Galaxy Explorer sets and the alternate builds, very nice smooth wing frame as well. And of course they made this fork here, very cool. It's the same design and build technique from the 10497, so it is pretty decent. One biggest disappointment, and I guess they can't help it, is that there is no landing gear for this one. So they weren't able to incorporate a landing gear, and this is because the frame in itself, to make the LL918 alternate build smaller, they made the wing frame smaller as well. So the Technic under structure here is just 4 studs wide, and you needed 6 studs wide to include landing gears. So I guess I can make one of the fins as landing gears, but this one, they made it such that it's just now 1 stud wide, so it won't really be that, I would say, sturdy underneath, but I can try. Again, like all my previous reviews, I really wish that they gave us the printed blocks for the LL924 and LL918 here as well. And also, as you can see here, in this alternate build, this is more glaring that they didn't include the original slope piece for the space logo that they usually have for these kinds of sets. So I wish they created that piece again, but I guess since it's retired now, then they can't really bring it back, because there won't be a lot of sets that would need that kind of sloped piece anymore. So again, they made this very cool way to include this antenna here that is also part of the original, and you can take this out as well to show the, I guess, fuel cell to power the space transport. Again, very cool way to include this, the canopy, and it is removable since it's only held by clips, but still very cool indeed. And the way that they made this fit a one minifig vehicle is they had to make him like a lot of these planes and fighter jets that they have now for Lego, is that the minifigure is slanted. The original position of the astronaut, of the spaceman, is in the right seated position, and that's because they had an undercarriage that's strutting out from the wing frame so that he can sit basically below the fuselage line. But here they didn't make that crevice. Would have been nice if they did, so that they can make the spaceman sit fairly comfortably instead of a slanted position. But I guess this is how we can just justify it. Now, even the driving wheel has to be tilted, because if you put it like this, when you bring down the canopy, it will slide down. So if you look at the front, it looks now more like a fighter ship more than just a space transport. So this will become a single engine, like an A-wing from the Star Wars series, right? So would have been, it's really good, and if it had landing gear, then I would display this as well if I had one more set. But maybe I'll rebuild this first as the LL924, and then when I get a new box of the 10497, I'll rebuild the LL918 alternative build. So Yeah, again, the thrusters, similar design from the original build, and again, same with the engine. So yeah, very, very cool. And because of the size of this alternate build, it is easily swooshable as opposed to the LL924, which is almost the same size as the original Galaxy Explorer from the 1970s, and the Galaxy Explorer, the 10497, which is fairly big. It's almost the size of a Star Wars Star Cruiser. So again, this time it's not using any Technic pieces to make the fuselage tilted. So it's using the original classic build techniques of just laying it out straight on the Lego pieces and not doing a lot of tricks. So I like that very much. And of course, comparing it to the size of the original 10497 build, it is fairly smaller, and I have it here on stilts. And as you can see, it's almost like if you have this like as an aircraft carrier, this would be like a frigate, or yeah, a frigate that would be accompanying the aircraft carrier, right? So, and if like this was in the Star Wars universe, if this was the main battleship, this would be like the support ships or the smaller, yeah, the frigates of the Space Army, so, or the Space Navy. So yeah, and that's it for my review of the alternate builds of the Lego set 10497, the Galaxy Explorer Space System, for the 90th anniversary of Lego. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button, and please consider subscribing, as a lot of my viewers have not yet subscribed to my channel, and it would help me a lot in bringing you more content like this in the future. Thank you very much.